got all these devils and demons on tattoos on my feet and on my arms going up around my body. I'm making the devil wait a little. 8 times, and I didn't say it. You can ask her. My mom told her that, and it's true anyway, though. But I come back. I keep coming back. Why? Because I can. I mean, if my head was blown away by a shotgun, there's no chance. I'm gone. But, you know, if the body's able to do it, even if it's 1 in a million, I'm that 1 in a million. Just like the very last thing. I wasn't supposed to make it. I'm right here. Right here, making my stories. But, yeah, he folded. But, so, she's paying for a mortgage, 2 cars, the rent, you know, I mean, the insurance, the light bill, the water bill, the gas, the property tax, the freaking, you know, the homeowner's insurance. She's got 2 other kids, and, you know, all this stuff. So I already have my lawyer talking to the right people. They're going to audit her whole situation, because her man don't work. Her man did, like I said, he was doing a small thing. He first made a child, so he didn't have to work. When that child got into the age of where they go to like pre-K or whatever, boom, that's when he had another one with her. And that child, and they're both wonderful, beautiful angels. So they're not, I'm not even going to involve him in this, but he did that so he doesn't have to work. He can be the babysitter. He can be the house individual, you know? And that's what I would do. I told her I would do the same thing. You got a snow bunny that she gave you a car, debit cards, you're allowed to use the bank cards, because you're not pulling in any money. My family helped them in the summer at the farmer's market to get rid of some microgreens and stuff like that, but the money ain't there. You're not having no real life, like where you could be self-sufficient on your own. It's because of my sister. If it wasn't because of my sister, you'd be homeless. Or with another snow bunny trying to use them. Because I have his Instagram account. And other stuff too. I just won't put it all out there. Courts will know it all. And I hope they put this out there because the courts will see. I am just seeking help from the people that are my subscribers and watchers, as well as teaching them the right from wrong, you know? Like, don't get in my situation. Don't get in this situation. You know what I mean? You'll learn from what I'm dealing with. But, he hasn't had to work. But I did do something with, he has all social media accounts with nothing but women, Snapchat, all types of stuff that a 50-something-year-old should not be having no more. And none of them look like my sister. So what did I do? I bought her, when I did that, I told my parents, look what I found out about him. And this is just a percentage, because I didn't want to send you pictures of stuff that would disgust you, and just this is all you needed to see. I'm going to let her know, so at least my sister, I may be not on great terms, but that's still blood and I love her unconditionally. I'm going to let her know, because I would like you to let me know if my girl was cheating on me, or if, wouldn't dad like to know if mom was cheating, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I got told, do not open your fucking mouth and bother her, because her brain can't take it. It'll be too much stress. So the person you love, you want the person you don't love, because he's a piece of shit and he's a liar and a manipulator. You want him to just lie. Lying also is not telling the truth. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean making up a different story, not letting them know something very important where they got to address. You know what I mean? And maybe he's not the right one. Maybe he is there for the wrong reasons. Maybe he's there for the right reasons, but a little counseling, a little couple therapy, and you guys might get through with it. You know, maybe, you know, whatever. She's got body dysmorphia, and I feel for her. Probably hates me more after this video, but I do love her because she's family, my blood. I love her no matter how much she hates me. No matter how much my family hates me, I still love them, you know? And that's why it's going to be on this video, because I'm saying it to everybody out loud. You know, I love them, and I said it in text. I kept texts from all my family, my sister, everybody, for a whole year. So I'm going to print all that out, And that includes me being a smart ass and not being right, saying effed up shit. All that's on there. I'm not going to negate any part of it. It's all going to be there because that is who I am. Like, that's how I talk, and most of the time I'm talking like that because I'm defending myself, because I tried to have father-son talks and thankful to him and being real passive, not my normal person. Just trying my hardest to sound passive so he could see that I'm trying to make that relationship happen. You know, before I die, he dies, you know, whatever. And I got shitted on, and it started World War III between me and him. And he didn't want me to text no more and only call, and because I sound like I'm mad always when I text, or I text wrong. No, you just don't want anything on the text, because everything you and everybody says to me, and I'm not saying just you and mom or just you and my entire family always says hurtful things to me. But I send that pain below. That's why I love fighting. You know what I mean? Which I don't do no more, because I just sit there and I get all of the emotions out, everything out. I get a body high from doing that. That's why I don't care if I lose or win, because I got in. I got in. That's all that matters. And cross that line again, even if I lost, didn't win, we'll do it again. And we'll do it again every time that line gets crossed. And if I do get a win on you, you're going to regret any other times I didn't win, because I'm going to give it to you that much worse. Because that's just who I am. Sooner or later, you're going to find the next guy that you can easily with no consequence do those actions to. But my whole family just talks shit to me. You know, just talks down on me, talks shit to me. I'll never be better. I'm a piece of shit. They were telling me this whole year I was in the street. They left me in the street. They sold their house for half $500,000, and they left me in the street. They tried to give me some Band-Aids so they didn't look bad in front of other family members by putting me in a hotel, me and Natasha in a hotel for a couple of days. A motel, not nice, but I wouldn't want nothing nice, you know. And they were hoping that the shower and the you know, being indoors and stuff would get us to separate, because they wanted us to separate and put ourselves in separate shelters. And we said, no, we will never, never. We are dealing with this inconvenience, and we are not crying to nobody for help. If someone wants to volunteer, which families should volunteer to help you if you're on the street, because I wasn't even allowed to put my tent in people's backyards that live by themselves in 3-story houses, you know, and in situations such as that, to keep her 100-pound self safe, I had to stay up with a knife on my chest, let her sleep until I fell out maybe an hour or two after her, because I am responsible for her by my rules. I put myself responsible for her. So I didn't get no help. I didn't get any help. I didn't get any, I love you, nothing. I'm always the one who says, and you got my right, permission to correct me if I'm lying even a little bit. So you heard me tell her. I'm always the one who says, I love you, either in text or phone call. What's up? I ran out of battery, so I have it charging right now while I'm finishing. But, you know, their idea of taking care of us was buying us stuff. Like when a billionaire dad or a millionaire dad is like happy and he's like, I take care of my kids. I bought them Lexuses and Beamers and yachts. And no, how about being there for them one-on-one talks? You know what I mean? Like, I was raised by, I'm gonna whisper to you, the street. What raised me, babe? Street. Said exactly what I just whispered to you. And what rap group basically also raised me? The exact W I just threw up. So that's what raised me. That's why I'm the way I am. Wu-Tang and the street raised me. That's why I am what I am. That's why I can do what I do, and I don't get a problem wherever the fuck I go, whatever town I go at, or whatever facility I'm in, because I am a straight up stand-up guy. I live by morals, and those morals I break for no man, nobody. You know, and family becomes before anything. But unfortunately, I don't got family. The only family is my kids and, you know, Natasha. That's my family, because the rest of them, they don't want nothing to do with me. And they talk bad about me to surrounding neighbors, they're going to talk bad about me because I made this video. Once again, she was against it because she said it's just going to get your family hating you again. I said my family never liked me. They don't like me. Nothing's going to change because they don't talk to me and I just made up with them. My sister don't talk to me and I just made nice with everybody. You know, I just signed the papers so my kid can go up to New Hampshire and see my parents and, you know, my other family. And I'm like 2 seconds away from rescinding that signature because I haven't seen my son in the last 3 Fridays. I used to see him going over her house, but she had a little clause and she denies it now. But we couldn't come over unless we were clean, like showered clean. We couldn't afford that. I got cut off from my disability in November and we couldn't afford it. We were living off her CD PAP. She was making way less. She was working a lot less hours at that time. We just had enough to pay for our storage and our phones, period. You know, we didn't have nothing for ourselves after that, so let alone every time I want to see a kid, a hotel, which was like $150 or better a night, you know what I mean, just the shower. So we would buy the wet ones, and you know, we had a 4-man tent. Eventually we would totally wash ourselves off. We each watched outside the tent, you know, look out, make sure, totally bathe, and you know, baby powder, you know, the lotion, the right way, and then, you know, our hair, water, you know. Now I got long hair. I mean, I got my cap on, but I got my cornrows. You know, she does them, but yeah. So we couldn't. She was making it damn near impossible to see the kid, and I can't argue because I did have ticks on me before I got a tent, when we were sleeping on the goddamn floor. We got a tent right away, but there was like 5 days or 4 days we didn't, and I had a tick here and a tick on my thigh or whatever. Like, they have other kids and I wouldn't want to bring that stuff over. But after, when we were in a tent, we're living indoors basically. Like during the winter it was nothing. We had the buddy heater, you know, you put the propane tank, and I was so hot I had everything off but like this white t-shirt. Like we had the tarp over the tent too, you know, everything was nice. I made our year in the street, in that tent, in the woods, as easy as pie. Considering nobody wants that. I don't want that, don't want to go back to that. But I made it easy for her. I entertained her the whole time. We had the phones charging the whole time. We bought a whole bunch of battery banks so we can keep watching YouTube movies. I know 2 sites that play movies that are in the movie theater and TV series from Prime. It just plays everything that can go on a television set. It streams it directly from the site. I know 2 sites. I'll tell you another time. Dopebox.to and Flixtour.to. Try them too. That's all I'll give you for now, and thank you later. Actually, thank me now. I'll wait. No, I'm kidding. Thank me later for that shit. But yeah. So I'm going to court tomorrow because I am getting sued for child support for my own son. But yet she makes all this money, so I have them auditing her for whatever she claimed on her taxes. It better pay for all of the bills she has, and if it don't, someone did tax evasion and fraud. They're in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? Because you're getting help from the state. You're getting our WIC card that we gave you since day 1 for Damien. So that covers everything, but the diapers, I think. But you know, covers that. We help, you know, when we can. I have his fucking goddamn birthday gift here, and, you know.
Spike says it's tingling.
You know, and I still can't give it to him because we still haven't seen him. Like, this shit is crazy. Shit is crazy what they're doing. They're doing us dirty. You know, that's why I'm talking about this, because I need to get it out of my system. And they wrote down, because we had a hearing that we did, a conference call, and, you know, telling us what they want us to do. Court's mandating us yet to nothing. We're not mandated to do anything yet, but we've been doing everything for a year. Dropping taxes, mental health, parenting classes, and they got a problem with the parenting class where we are doing it, you know, and they're saying we got to do it somewhere else. I'll wait until I talk to the courts and see what the courts say. I want the courts to acknowledge what we're doing, what we have done, unasked for a whole year to what to keep doing. I'm at the point where I get telehealth, like because I'm on Suboxone, I get telehealth. They don't even make me have to give urines all the time because you only go for so long. You don't go for the rest of your life. If you do good, you move on. You move on with your life. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm going there tomorrow for that. She gets help from that. She gets help from everybody in my family. Everybody in Tom's family helps too. You know, that's her man. They do help, and all his friends, they help. They all help. They all help. We had so much shit that we wanted to give, because I have a friend, I'll mention his name. Jesse, a good friend, love him to death. He gave us everything. All the cribs, pack and play, strollers, seats that bounce on their own, vibrate, everything. Breast warmer, everything. And they wouldn't take none of it because they have a kid that is only like a year and almost 2 years old now, so this was a year ago. Like when she was done, Damien got it. Damien used her stuff. But I went, one time I visited, I brought the Mickey Mouse seat that vibrated, and they allowed it because, like I said, you can lose one or you bring one with you, and you still got one here. So it could be in two houses, a chair in two different houses. And the baby used it as well as my son. So that much shows you they loved it. The kids loved it. Let the kids make the decision, especially something small like that. But they had the help. They're getting SNAP for them too now. So that plus they're getting whatever other help they can get from them. But what they're doing is grimy. They're doing something that I would do if I was trying to screw someone else over. I know how to play the system too. They're going to doctors saying that he's got certain problems, doing certain things, moving his head a certain way. I mean, he did have eczema because she has eczema, but he kind of is growing out of it because I'm a greasy Italian. So, but if he has it, he has it. She's got it. We'll handle it. All life. Love him to death. But he probably won't have it his whole life. He'll probably grow out of it. But they're saying that he's just having a hard time with everything to make it look like we were doing him dirty, like not raising him right. Like the worse are off they could prove he is, like special schooling, all this stuff and physical therapy, they get to bring that up. But doctors, especially certain doctors, will give and co-sign anything you say because insurance will cover it and pay them, so they got more work and more money coming in. Because I was able to get Vicodin HPs, back in the day, never had nothing wrong with my back, and I had 4 or 5 doctors. I was doctor shopping. I had 4 or 5. I got a script of 120 with 3 refills. Now, none of that's legal. None of that happens. But I'm talking about back then, like 2001, 2002. 3 and 4. 120 with 3 refills, and I was able to refill it every 18 days. So I was allowed to take 6 a day, and you could refill them 3 days early. And that was just one doctor. And then I'd have another doctor give me 40 of them with 40 somas. And I had another doctor, so you just tell doctors what is the right thing to get the right thing that you want without sounding too thirsty. In her case, not trying to push it, on the doctor. Let the doctors feel good about themselves that they're making a decision. A doctor's not going to want to deny a child help, whether he needs it or not, because it's physical therapy. That's not going to hurt. That's basically the parent or the guardian isn't able to do what they got to do to make them correct. So they need a doctor or a therapist, blah, 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 to do what they should be more than equipped to do. Because I have videos. I have it on my Facebook, but I have more videos, and I kept them as proof. Proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? Where I have him console him, heads moving, talking to me, acknowledging everything, cleaning with me, cleaning the playground we're at, acknowledging other kids, showing interest in hanging out and socializing. There's nothing wrong with him. When we had him, we were feeding him Infamil. She got him. She said the Infamil's not working good with him. He's not handling it well. He needs to go on Gentlease, which the WIC wasn't covering at the time because she wouldn't make the phone call and let them know that she has to have him on Gentlease, and they would have switched it. So we had to like supply that when we could. We didn't have it like that, so we didn't. I don't want to say we were giving them everything. We were not. The families, the extended family were. We were homeless. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys understand. And they got $500,000 selling the house, moved to my other sister's house in New Hampshire to help her with the kids. Maybe paying a little rent, but you didn't buy it. It's not like you bought a house yet, or are. I don't know what your plans are. You're probably gonna live on their property because they got acres beyond acres. So you're getting over. You know what I mean? You couldn't just pay the first month's rent and security just to get us off the street. That would have been pennies to your $500,000. I mean, I know that you probably owed a ton for refinancing because they bought the house in '91 for $105,000. Yet it still wasn't paid off. I think the last time I did talk to them was $250,000. They were more than twice the amount that they bought the house. Well, that's how they worked. They always had bills, but they always paid. They always paid their bills. Whether they had to borrow it, I'll give them that. I'll give them that. Why work if you're not going to have any time to enjoy your money? So